Hey Minsk. I am great and mighty. Thank you for recognizing that. Let's see. Drawing Moon Knight, if you've ever heard of him. So yeah, as usual, I'm separating. Every time I do a commission, I always like just put an X-axis through it, because I tend to like do things in the middle or to the side. It just helps me think about composition straight away. Because unlike like with covers, I'll work on composition for ages in layouts, but I don't do that with commissions. I kind of just go with the seat of my pants. Yeah. Whistle. I don't think I'll be drawing as long today because this is Moon Knight, so I doubt I'll be doing any colour, and I won't be doing too many washes because I don't draw. I never do washes on Moon Knight. That was kind of a rule I made for myself when I was doing the book, because I was doing washes on everything else. So I thought, well, I'll give myself a break. One of those necessity being the mother of all invention moments. To do Minsk is Batman the most frequent commission you get. It is not Minsk, it is this character is the most. I took 6 commission requests for C2E2 and 4 of the 6 were for Moon Knight. So that kind of tells you everything. Batman is probably the second most, maybe. I would say, yeah. It is Moon Knight, yeah. Harry, hey Declan, hope you're well. It's the suit Moon Knight. It sure is. Yeah, it's suit Moon Knight. At least when people ask for Moon Knight, that is the one I assume they're looking for. Generally, people will specify if it isn't. So I have 2 suit Moon Knights to do, so I thought I would kind of start with one. No one ever specifically asks for the issue that's most popular is the one fighting one, but nobody ever really asks for that one because he's in the suit, but he kind of strips down a little. Hey, G Matrix. Whose idea was the suit Moon Knight costume? That was all Warren. I kind of get too much credit for this costume because it actually was done before me. Warren did an issue of Secret Avengers with Michael Lark, and Michael Lark drew Moon Knight in a white suit. But that was all Warren though. I took that like white suit and I kind of trimmed it down, and I added the buttons, cufflinks, kind of stuff. It was just literally a white suit when Lark did it. Sometimes I do feel a bit bad taking credit for it because it was drawn before me. I'd just like to think that maybe I mastered it. No. Yeah, the Secret Avengers run was pretty cool. I remember being so jealous of all the art, like, of everybody on that book. And then I got to work with Warren on my own, which was nice. Melted Chi. Hello, how's it going? I am well, thank you for asking. Or hoping. Harry, if I was given a team which had to include Moon Knight, who would be his teammates? Ooh, that's a good one. Who would be his teammates? Okay, I wouldn't do the thing where it's all horror type guys. I think some people would really like to do that, but that would not be me. So I would probably have it be honestly a kind of a Secret Avengers team, like all characters I'd like to draw. So I would make it Moon Knight and probably Nick Fury that I drew, Nick Fury Jr. and Winter Soldier. And Daredevil. I would just make it all the characters I want to draw. It'd be the worst. I know I need a story reason for them all to be together, but I think that it's not outside of the realm of possibility for all those guys to team up. Sorry, I feel like I never do proper answers to those questions because it involves too much thinking. I'm thinking when I'm drawing. So I'm sorry if it's an underwhelming answer. It's cool. What do you think of the Savage Avengers team with Conan that was announced recently? I think that just makes sense. I don't understand why Marvel took Conan. Makes zero sense to me. But if you're going to do it, then why not? I don't know if I'd be too bothered with it, but when I saw Venom was on it as well, I'm like, actually, that's cool. What the hell would they be like together? I'll definitely check it out. I know Jerry's writing it, so it's bound to be a good book. Jerry Duggan's attached. Like, with a lot of this stuff, if I'm being honest, I don't really give a shit. Like, what the concept is. If it's who's doing it. So we could really give any Avengers team to Jerry, and I think he'd do a good job. Or with a certain artist would do an amazing job. So I'm never really too bothered with, like, you know, a book. Generally, like, who's doing the book? Because that's what will make it interesting. That makes sense. So, Savage Conan could, like, be the stupidest thing in the world, or it could be the best, depending on who's doing it. Men's. Who is your favorite Ghost Rider? Blaze, Ketch, or Raze, or another I'm missing? Ketch is my guy. I always knew Ghost Rider was Johnny Blaze, but I had read the old. I was reading the old Salvador Larroca. Was it Howard Mackie writing? Can't remember, but Salvador Larroca was drawing it. I loved that. That was Danny Ketch stuff, and that was my Ghost Rider. It will be forever. Oh, it's Venom Punisher. Yeah, I like those guys. Wolverine, Conan, Dr. Voodoo, and Elektra. I don't really know Dr. Voodoo, but like I love all those other characters. Actually, I probably will get it. I probably will get it. I'm trying to figure out how much black do I want in this. This is Declan. have to Google something there. Oh yeah. Trying to remember what a street light looked like. Hello, Kieran Stevens. Thanks for tuning in. It's not really tuning in, is it? Do. Harry asks, what is my favourite Marvel DC crossover? Assume you don't actually mean Marvel versus DC. I can't think of any DC covers that I'm mad about. I did like Death of Superman back in the day for them, and Nightfall. That stuff was good fun. I haven't read it in so long, it's hard to know if it was actually good or. Civil War was pretty class back in the day, admittedly. I don't really read them anymore. I'm not too bothered with events and stuff like that. I tend to prefer read say books like Moon Knight, where it's just like one character doing their thing. I did like the Marvel DC crossover back in the day, and the amalgam stuff. I don't know if any of you would have read that. Pretty huge back in the day. Assuming you guys are all younger than me. The trade of the amalgam stuff, yeah, that was bonkers. I didn't really have a lot of access to comics back then, so I was just picking up random ones, and I didn't know what was going on. It was exciting though. Yeah, Dark Claw was bonkers. Jim Halland do that one. Yeah, Dark Claw was ridiculous. You gotta love it though. I'm a lot more forgiving of that stuff now, because it's just so exciting at the time. Super Soldier was by Mark Waid to give it. So yeah, for the hell. Sorry, just checking something, guys.
Take on the world, battle royale style.
Sorry, but it's not there. Just thought of an album I haven't heard in a while, so I'm just gonna get up the old YouTubes.
My suitcase is packed with all the clothes I got.
Right. What prompted me to start streaming? That's a good question. Did prompt me to start streaming? Christ, I'm useless at this. I can never think to answer your questions. I guess I knew some people were doing it. I think I had a couple of commissions that I knew I had to do. I'm aware that, like, you know, people are using YouTube and stuff like that in different ways, and I figured it was just something to try. So I think I just, do you know what it was? Is I think I randomly did a live YouTube video just to try it out for a laugh, and people seemed to really respond to it. Sorry, it was on Instagram I did it. But the problem was Instagram was specifically my phone, and it was a little bit unwieldy. It wasn't really the best way to do it. So a couple of people have suggested doing it on Twitch, which was something I was completely unfamiliar with. I knew it was used primarily for games, but I saw that Eric Canetti was doing it, and big fan of Eric's work. So I figured I'd just give it a one-off go. And it was fun. like, I don't even really like doing commissions, to be honest. Well, I like them, but they can become a whole thing, and not what I want to be spending all my time doing. But I figured at least if it was a kind of a nice, fun, social thing, it would be worth doing. Like, it's a little bit more fun to like chat to you and answer questions and stuff. Plus, it's a mode of promotion for my work that's not that ever isn't being done by everybody. I mean, I'm not breaking any records or anything doing this stuff, but you know, if it finds a few new people who don't know my stuff and are willing to try it out, all the better. But I've no idea. I have absolutely no idea if it's people who just already know my stuff watching, or there's new people, or I don't know. It's hard to know. But I mean, I'm not going to stream forever. I will eventually get too busy again and have to stop. But it's if I'm going to take pre-commissions for shows, then it's a nice, it's a more fun way of doing them, admittedly. Connor Hughes. We decided to start streaming this. Damn right, Connor. Get off my back already, Jesus. It is a whole thing though, that like I have to make sure that this board is set up and the light's shining right, and I got a lend of a proper mic and a proper webcam and stuff, so it's a whole thing, admittedly. Like I was doing it off my phone and the quality was lacking. And I have to be aware that like I don't spend too much time invested doing commissions for shows when my real job is drawing comics. This kind of stuff can be distracting, so I have to keep an eye on it, really. There's people who can just like stream all day and go, "Hey guys, I'm just going to be streaming, totally cool," and actually aren't doing any work. And I don't want to be one of those guys. I want to make sure I've got a story coming out, like another telling stories, you know. That's why I got into this stuff. So it's making sure I'm enjoying it enough to keep doing it. Doesn't become too cumbersome to get in the way of the actual work. And it's nice because to take the commissions, I can make a few bob here and there, that's always nice. Well, it's grand to well, it's like keeping me company. Definitely, you guys ask me questions is definitely a better way for me to stay involved while I'm drawing. Otherwise, why do it? I just do this in my own time, not in front of people. Oh, hey, Mark, how's it going? Like, oh, you guys asking questions helps, and then you ask questions, and my answer is, I don't know. But yeah, when you do, at least I can just chat away at least, and stops me from getting Bored. Also, it's nice to know people are really watching. I'm just here losing my mind. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying just watching Minsk. You don't have to say anything, don't worry. Is that light okay? Is it way too bright? A bit better. I'm afraid I was just throwing this stuff in. I don't really know what I'm doing. I'll figure it out though. Any hobbies aside from writing, drawing? Minsk? No. I do nothing but this. I'm not being facetious. There is no time. Closest thing after watching hobbies really is watching TV shows, films, when I get a chance. Barely, or reading comics. I barely have time to read as it is. Sometimes I play Star Trek games with some friends, or I go drinking. It sounds sad, but going off on the piss is kind of my my hobby. I kind of, I'd be cooped up indoors a lot, so I enjoy going out and socializing when I can. Like for a long time, reading about writing and listening to discussions about writing and stuff like that. That was a hobby, but then I actually ended up getting to do it, which was great. So that's now work. I was talking to some friends about this recently. Whenever I don't have, if I'm not loaded with work, I tend to come up with stuff that ends up just creating more work. I feel really lucky. I get to just like make stuff all the time, so I'm always thinking of the next thing to make, which I should probably do a bit less of. Hey Tooth, how's it going? Well, I was late too, Tooth for what it's worth. Hey Neil, how's it going? Oh, I'm hearing great things about Umbrella Academy. I have to say, I was skeptical, but I'm hearing lots of really, really, really good things. Oh, great. It's good to know. Yeah, I'll definitely give it a watch. I want to wrap up, so I want to finish some shows before I start another one. Oh, thanks, Ali. I assume her name is Ali. I'll be doing it for the next 4 weeks anyway, because I'm doing commissions for C2E2. I think I might need to kind of stop for a while after that, because the book I'm on, I need to make sure I don't fall behind on it. These are a little distracting. It'll be harder too. I'm going to be doing some travelling later in the year, so it's going to be harder to stream. So we'll definitely do it for the next 4 weeks, and we'll see. Might be a bit more intermittent after that. See, if no one complains, is the wardrobe or made yourself alive in the middle of the I don't know who that is, but I think I know what you mean because I see from the trailers and stuff. But that could be a deliberate character thing. Hey, sorry if I missed the answer. Did I see your question, Connor? Sorry, I might have missed it. How busy am I? Will I be up for a King Up and up for a Kickstarter? Connor, no way. I'm sorry, man, but I am way too busy. Like I was just saying, I shouldn't even really be doing these. Oh, sorry, man. Between trying to work on pitches, trying to do my covers, doing these commissions, not to mention actual stuff that pays, which is drawing comics. Yeah, no, I just don't. Sorry. I look at it up. No worries, Connor. Sorry again. Do I read which comes from a phone monitor? Yeah, what I do is when I was doing this from the phone, when I was streaming from the phone, I would be have the phone above the page here, and so what I started doing is I open up my channel on my desktop, so I'm drawing on the page and I'm looking up at the desktop, looking at your comments. It's why I started doing these things on Twitch, because I wasn't able to do that on the old Instagrams. I couldn't read what people were saying to me and it felt bad. To Wadley Hobbins. Hey man. Hello to Minnesota. Oh, nice one. Cool. I'll see you there. Have we met before, Wadley? Because I've been to C2 a few times now. I often wonder, is it new people I meet or old people? Make sure you do come up and say hi, though. And if you have anything you want me to sign, just bring whatever you got. We'll sign it. How far is Minnesota from Chicago, actually? I don't think it's ridiculously far, but it's far enough, isn't it? Oh, nice. Oh, sorry. Of course, man. Yes, I know. I remember you. Is it Mark? Is that your name? Sorry, I can't remember your name. I recognize your handle though. 6.5 hours from Chicago. That is a stretch, but as far as like America goes, it's not too bad. Not to diminish your dedication or anything. That is quite the journey though. David. Sorry, man. I'm sure I said to you in person I'm much better with faces than I am names. I've like, there's some people who've come up to me and have said, "Hey, man," and they'd be like, "Oh, you remember me?" I'd be like, "Yeah, yeah." Sometimes now, admittedly, I'm like, "Hey," and they'd be like, "Remember me?" I'm like, "Sure, I do, yeah." We just see so many faces, but I generally am pretty good for recognizing people, but not names. I forget those in a second. In fact, I've forgotten your name is David already. Hope you're looking forward to Chicago. I very much am. I kind of wasn't slated to go at all, but I had some plans fall through. I'm like, it'd be fun to go to Chicago. It's not the furthest. Sorry, I headbutted the camera there. It's reasonable. It's not too bad travel wise for me too. It's a 6-hour flight for me rather than a 6-hour drive for you. Yes, Michael, I remember you. Who could forget? And hello, Michael. A 6-hour flight equals jet lag. It's not too bad. Jet lag is worse coming from the States back home because you're missing parts of your day. I can get on a flight in Ireland and then fly to the States and kind of like it's roughly the time I took off. So it's just like a kind of a weird limbo. And then I just stay up till it's bedtime and sleep it off. Like get a solid night's sleep and then it's fine. But coming home, it can be tougher. Hey, Jonas. Oh, nice one. I am glad you caught it too. How are you doing, man? You busy? Or you're drawing, so you can't really type, if I recall. Wadley. Will I or Chicago be bringing any originals with me? Yes, Paolo is going, and he will have lots of originals. Be like Return of Wolverine, everything really, everything other than Moon Knight because that's pretty much all sold. Yeah, he'll have a lot of stuff there. In fact, I just sent him some new stuff last week. Michael, hello. It doesn't look like you will be at Chicago this year. I'm sure you'll have plenty of people to take care of you. I'll survive, Michael. But thank you, man. Cheers. But no, yeah, it'd be good. I've been to Chicago a few times now, so if anything, I know my way around a bit. Though it's gotten bigger every year. The last time I was there was much big. Like I was there the very first year of C2E2. John has just turned the last 2 pages of Volume 2 of Bone Parish, so I'm done drawing for the first day. Excellent, man. Good on you. And if any of you guys are unfamiliar with Jonas's work, he draws a book called Bone Parish at Boom, and you should check out his stuff because he is the bomb, I believe the phrase is. Not a bomb, that's a whole other thing. Jonas is really, really good. If you're, I would recommend just having a little peek at his stuff. Evening, Adam. How's it going? Yeah, it's evening here. It's nearly 8 o'clock. Oh, well done, Jonas. How much more of Bone Parish do you have to do? Oh, sorry, last 2 pages of Volume 2. Is there more to go, or maybe you can't say? If you can't say, don't worry about it. Do I forget tired of drawing the sky? Sometimes. Nah, like it's not like I draw him every day, so you know. And the way I draw him is a way in which I like to draw. You know, it's not like I'm drawing Transformers or anything where I'm like, oh, we've got to do this again. And also, I know how to draw him, so I didn't have to do any like preparatory drawing before I did this. I could just literally just pick it up and start. Somebody asked for the bone costume, which I'm like, oh, cool, because I don't get to draw that often. And somebody asked for the superhero costume, which is also cool because I designed that one too. And it's nice to revisit those designs. Like somebody asked for like a punk rock storm. I'm like, ooh, that'll be fun to draw. But I'm gonna have to like, you know, psych myself up for that one. The nice thing about this guy is I know exactly what I'm doing. And it is nice to return to him now and then. So if the answer to your question is yes, but then when I actually get into it, it's enjoyable. Which, like right now, it is enjoyable. There's a little bit of pressure with like drawing this character because everyone really liked the arc I did. It's a little bit of pressure of like, oh, what if I do a shit job? And everyone's like, oh, you can't draw Moon Knight anymore. But that kind of dissipates once I start drawing. I'm clearly doing an amazing job. The bone, Adam, the bone costume was your favorite. Yeah, it's not my favorite. I really like that costume. I would hate it if I had to draw it every issue, but I mean, I knew it was only going to be in one issue, so. Well, I knew I was only doing 6 issues total, so. Where's my pen? There it is. Jonas, we have another 4 issue arc coming up. It's 12 issues total. Okay, and you're 2/3 of the way there at least. That's great. Do you do many European shows, Jonas? You just save up for like New York? I'm a little fortunate being in Ireland because we're just a little bit closer to the American shows in New York. A couple of hours, I guess. Yeah, I was just curious if you do many European shows. Wadley. What do I think about the action figures of Moon Knight based off your designs? Also, do I own and use them? I love them. It's so cool to see. And yes, I do. I own. Oh crap! Spilled the water on my keyboard. Not too bad. I don't own any Funkos, but I have the Funko of Moon Knight, and I have the Funko of him with his sleeves rolled up, which is amazing. It's just so weird I've actually made one of those, 2 of those. I have those. I have them over here. Wait a second. Yeah, I have the Marvel Legends 6-inch figure, and I have a smaller, I think it's 3-inch. Yeah, probably 3-inch figure. That's it though. That's all I have. I think I wanted to collect more stuff, but I kind of lost track of it. I'm glad you think Mark's looking good. It's kind of his thing. Jonas, I usually go to the comic salon in Erlangen, Germany, because it's so close to where you live. Believe it or not, New York last year was your first proper con ever. Get the fuck out! How did you get? Because I just don't understand how you got your stuff out there. You know, I went to American shows for ages and British shows to kind of get my stuff out there. But you just seem to have like gotten into American comics so fully formed. I believe you. I just think it's crazy that New York was your first one. Did you enjoy New York? Sorry for the specific questions to Jonas. I just, I think he's a wonderful artist and interesting to know. Wadley, do you have ever seen a mini-mate based on my design? I have seen it. I don't think I have it though. Those things kind of flew past me a little. But yeah, I have seen it. It looks class. I've had a few figures made out of my stuff. Boomerang is an action figure, and Toxin Design I did is an action figure. I just had my brush on my hand. Where did I put it? This is on you guys. Oh, there it is. Right. Oh, hey, Erica. How's it going? Knock your way in, huh? Sorry, I haven't cleaned this brush out and I can't be arsed doing it now, so I'm just trying to loosen up a bit. Just hanging around, huh? Not too shabby. Just realised this line is a little too clean, so I'm just gonna wobbly. Jonas, it was really surreal to meet some Americans in person. It's awesome, good fun. So again, this year if possible. I would recommend you go every year, Jonas. Just the people you can end up talking to. Of all the shows, it's my favorite, but like, you know, it's closer. It's closer to us in Europe, but it's also so much of the industry is there, you know, between Marvel and whatnot, and for the money you spend, you get a lot out of it, in my experience. So, and I know it's an expense and stuff, but like, what I do is I tend to go in with some friends and get an Airbnb. It's probably what you did as well. Like, I can't remember if you told me or not. But like, you can get a place for like 5 nights for about €300, like between, you know, each. You go in with like 3 or 4 friends, it can be pretty fairly doable. Went alone and paid for a hotel room. You fucking dope. Screw it, it happens. But I'm sure you know guys like going to the show this year. And sure, look, I'm sure, like you said, it was your first time going, but yeah, I'm sure the hotel costs a fortune, but like probably 300 a night, I'd imagine. Well, there's always guys from like the UK or Ireland going over, and I would say it's probably more fun to go over with Europeans because they'll know they'll always make sure they have fun in New York. But no, especially if you'd like to be doing more Marvel stuff, it's just so handy to actually like I know somebody who just got work at Marvel, and you know, he'd send stuff in, and he's a professional. He's worked at other companies, but because he happened to talk to somebody in person a while ago and actually hang out and get to know somebody, it made it far more easier for the person to go like, oh, I know that person, I like him, I'll hire him. Put a face to the name, you know. Plus, you have a very handsome face, so I'm sure that won't hurt. Adam, the Americans always know where the drinking is. It's New York. Everywhere's drinking. What I mean is, to make sense to Americans, is I find when I'm over in America with Europeans, the novelty of being in America is actually quite exciting. But to Americans, that's just, you know, what they're used to. They don't. It's not exotic to them. Saying that, that's not to say you shouldn't hang out with Americans. That would be silly. Why would you go to America if you weren't going to hang out with Americans? No, Jonas, I saw you. I wasn't that drunk. I must look up where Erdlangen is. I'm not sure where in Germany it is. Actually, I'll Google it there. Area, Germany. Okie dokie. Right smack in the middle, pretty much. Near Nuremberg. It's nice. Oh, cool. I have never been. I've been to, where have I been in Germany, con-wise? Frankfurt and where did I go last time? Frankfurt and damn, I can't remember. That's stupid. Two different places. Why can't I remember? It wasn't Munich. It was stick my tongue now. Can't remember. Sorry. I seem to be going to a German show once every 2 years. So I was in a small one, and then I was in a big one. It was like last year. But I love it anyway because it's so close to like, I live in Dublin, so I can get to the airport pretty quick. So any excuse to go to Germany, to Italy or Europe in general. I just agreed to go to one in Luxembourg actually, because I have never been there before. I like going to Germany though because I do like the language, though I cannot speak it. I studied German in school and I always liked the language, but I suck at it. True, the Europeans don't know where all the good bars are. I'll give you that. It's not that. It's with German. I did really well. This is probably way too much information, but I did really well in school. But I changed secondary school because there was no art class. It was art class I had to pay to do extra outside of school, and it was outside of school. So after my kind of I don't know what you call them, but we call it a junior cert year. It's like halfway through, you do these kind of big exams. And I didn't do as well in German as I would have thought I would have, because I was pretty good. But then they changed the course after when I changed schools because my mark wasn't very good. They put me in a kind of we call it pass, which is basically lower standard. And the teacher was shite, and really had a much harder time trying to get my head around the language after a couple of years, which is I blame the teacher. I just like how strict and literal it is. I don't know. Shiza, indeed. I don't. In school, I think I got my head around the pronunciation. It wasn't too bad, because we grow up with the Irish language. I mean, we don't speak it. We don't also barely understand it, but so we're used to weird pronunciation. Like the Irish of my name is mad. My name in Irish is Declan or Shalvey. And if I spell it out, it makes even less sense. Knock back some of these. I like doing this stuff with brushes where you break open the space, but I also don't want it conflicting with the white space on Midnight, so I'm going to knock it back with a little bit of wash. Coggamilish indeed. Mark, good stuff. On what? To Gaholin, Mark. I always feel like I should be doing a tone on Moonlight, but again, I've made a rule for myself where I do not do washes on him. I think it would make him look like a ghost, was my concern when I was working on the book. So I thought, keep him as line art and go to town on all the background detail. Okay, next time we're over, teach me some German insults. Perfect. Deal. You're more welcome over here anytime as well, man. By the way, if you ever fancy coming to Ireland, let me know. Myself and Owen will show you a good time. One was just over the other day. I was seeing the new book he's working on for Aftershock. Looks really, really, really good. This guy's nearly done now. Just do some touch-ups. Headland. Hey, Headland. What other characters am I going to do for this commission batch? Well, there's Moon Knight, and then there's Moon Knight, and Moon Knight, and somebody asked for a Punk Rock Storm, and somebody asked for a Deadpool. I was told the person asked for Deadpool. I had originally asked for Moon Knight, but then changed their mind. And thank Christ. Because I think 5 Moon Knights in a row would be too much. So I don't know which I'll do next. I'll probably there's one other suit Moon Knight, and then there's a bone costume, and then there's the superhero costume. So at least I can I'm not literally drawing the same costume each time. Storm will be fun. I'm gonna really like drawing that. But it also requires a little bit of research. Deadpool. I haven't drawn a full body Deadpool in a while, so there we go. Just doing a little pen work here, just to get more texture. Moon Knight. Never heard of Moon Knight. I mean, neither. Yeah, yeah. Too right, Mike. Mark. I mean, it's a nice problem to have if everyone really wants me to draw the character that I really like drawing, and did very, very well. Is there a character I wish people would ask for? Good question. I quite like doing Winter Soldier. An excuse to draw him is always cool. No, not really. Don't think so. It's more characters I don't want to draw sometimes. That's what I'm worried about. But even like Moon Knight, like I know I'm just complaining there, but really I do like drawing him, so it's not a problem. Sexy lady characters is stuff I don't really like doing because I don't feel particularly good at it. I just really struggle with it. But I don't really get asked to do that stuff much, so that's fine. Like that Lady Snowblood one I did there a while ago, I was like, oh god, I haven't gonna draw this. Because I just had to do a bit of research. Once I did, I'm like, oh, actually, this is pretty cool. Some people like to give you a quote-unquote challenge, to which I'm like, fuck off. Drawing the thing in itself is enough of a challenge. But it is cool sometimes because if you get, sometimes it's good to have some to draw outside of your comfort zone. So it's you know, there's plus and minuses to it. Any artist I find particularly inspiring to me at the moment. Well, there's Jonas there that I was mentioning. There's Simone Darmini. His stuff is it's a guy I discovered about a year ago, and really, really liking his stuff. He just did a book called Spider King at IDW. I would highly recommend that. I was literally looking at a book of Cyril Pedrosa's yesterday that was so mind-bogglingly amazing. It's hard to even look at sometimes. Sometimes those guys are so inspiring they're actually sabotaging, because you're like, I can never be that good. I mean, there's a lot of obvious guys. Daniel Warren Johnson's killing it. What did I buy for the art there the other day? There's some ladies, someone called Sweeney Boo, she calls herself on Twitter. She posts a lot of commissions online. I'm really liking those. Especially because I think she's working on a book. Like I get very judgmental about people who are just posting commissions online because I want to see them do comics. But I believe she's working on a book too, so I'm excited to see that come out. What's am I really liking? It's a good question. It's always kind of hard to think, though. I know there's some obvious guys. Dylan Burnett, who's doing X-Force. Who else am I really liking right now? Wes Craig, of course. I'm trying to think of the stuff I just bought. I literally got stuff from Comic What did I get for? Yeah, Owen drew that. Oh, what's his name? I'm guessing it's Jorge Corona, just in Middle West. I'm really liking his stuff. He's great. Oh, cool. Guardians of the Galaxy 2, yeah. What's his face? Jeff Shaw, yeah, he's doing some really good stuff these days. It depends on my mood sometimes, man, you know. I try and do like Follow Friday stuff now and then where I'm like sharing artists who I, for me sometimes it's finding newer, younger people because they tend to be doing the stuff. Eric Zawadzki, that guy's on fire. I'm loving what he's doing. But yeah, that's all that's come to mind right now. But if you ask me the next time, I'll probably have other names. I am pretty much done. I'm just going to do a very light wash over this stuff because I think it is also competing with Moon Knight a bit. And what have I thought of Creature of the Night by John Paul Leon? Are you fucking with me? You know I love John Paul Leon. And I'm not that bothered waiting for the fourth book because I heard about Creature of the Night through the grapevine about 7 years ago. He had started working on it. I think he was pulled off it for some other stuff, but I knew about this book a long, long time ago, and I had to wait as long as I did, so I don't mind waiting a little bit longer. I am just very glad that he's putting out a book because he's the master. And it's like, I understand if you got bored waiting, but the quality of the work that John Berlin is doing is not a monthly book; it's a yearly book. As far as I'm concerned, and I really don't mind waiting as long as it's amazing. I would prefer wait for an amazing book than just get an okay book. But that's just me. Adam Kurbusik talked about it in an interview a long time ago, and I just assumed we'd never see it after so long. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's not for me to say, but I think there was some circumstances, personal stuff with JP where he couldn't do work on the book. But I mean, he did other stuff in between, so it's not like the guy doesn't work. He was doing covers every month for the Massive and other stuff too. So the guy works, but like keep in mind he is drawing and coloring Creature of the Night. He's doing it all himself, and that is a lot of work. Okay, guys, it is 8:30, and I finished this bad boy. I'll just zoom in here so you can get a proper look. Sorry, it's a shadow of the light. Yep, there you go. So, yeah, that's him done. I will be back again next week with possibly Moon Knight or a different character. Yeah, cheers for watching. Keep me company. Always appreciate it. Yeah, I got nothing else. I've got nothing to sell. Just I don't know. Tell me I'm great. That's probably all I'm really looking for. Yeah, but sure, yeah, I'll see you next week, and I'll catch you later. Thanks, guys.